Alright, so as you can see, I got the gauge pod with some bumpiness on the surface. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to repaint this. But, other than that, it looks pretty good. And, yeah, let's get started here. So as I was saying, you know, for $200 you would expect a, a better paint job. But yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start painting this, or prepping it for paint. So that being said, let me go ahead and get to it. I'm going to be using a sponge, a 220 grit sponge I believe it is, or 225. I'll double check in a second here. Alright, so yeah, it's going to be a 220 grit sandpaper, or sponge I should say, and then I have a 420 or 400 grit sandpaper as well. I'm going to hit it with this one first, and then I'll go ahead and use the 400. So let's go ahead and start sanding this so I could paint it and hopefully get all these little bumps off. Now I might not even use the 400, but I'll see here in a second. But the whole point is to smoothen it out. As you can see, it's nice and it's smooth. It's really smooth right now, so gonna keep doing that. I'll be back in a second. I went ahead and finished sanding it down. As you can see, it seems like they primered it, but as you can see, all these little spots here, those are all those little bumps and that was on the paint. So it's all smoothened out now. It's pretty soft. I went ahead and cleaned everything. As you can see, all these little tissues with alcohol. So it should be pretty much clean here and ready to basically paint. Okay, so I'm doing this at night. I'm just gonna do a few little coats here and there, and then yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys me doing the first coat, and then I'll skip everything to do on the last coat. So here you go. I just finished painting it. Now as you can see, it looks a lot better. It looks a lot smoother. You don't really see the bumps on the... You can't see the bumps anymore. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry. One thing that I came across is that these are 52 millimeter, which is 2 inches per gauge hole. Now this new gauge that I bought here is supposed to fit in there since it's the same, but as you can see, it doesn't. So what I have to do is I have to try to grind out a little bit more in here and try to make it more flush and have it fit in there. Now if I push this one in, it'll go in, but it's still a little rough, so I have to continue making some more sanding out of it. So what I'm using is I'm actually using a wire brush wheel, and getting the cylinder here inside to get rid of this diameter a little bit. So that's one thing that you might encounter. I don't know, it depends on what gauges you end up purchasing. It could have risen the diameter due to the coat of paint that they used. I'm not sure, including mine as well. But anyways, that being said, I'm going to continue doing this to the insides, and then I'll probably end up repainting the whole thing again because it has to be repainted. So let's go ahead and get that done and finished up. So I'm using this little drill with a cylinder or a disc wire brush, and just trying to get rid of the sides here. Alright, so let's go ahead and see. Now it fits a little better now. It's still not all the way in, So I'm gonna go ahead and try to do some more on the back end. I think I know why though. I think they put like some sort of glue in there. So I gotta see if I could grind that glue or JB, well, whatever it is, off. So let's continue, shall we? So I got two of the 3 holes finished here. Kind of messed up here, so it still needs to get repainted anyways. But yeah, I got a little scuffy here. Anyways, I did enough brushing so that this actually sits in there nice and flush, and it's tight, so it won't even fall. It won't come out this way, so you have to remove this if you ever did want to take it out, which I actually like. So I could just literally push it and it'll pop out. So it's kind of cool because it kind of takes away from, you know, putting screws on it to keep it in place, or using gravity and it being loose. I prefer it being, you know, in there nice and snug, which it is, which is perfect. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm gonna do the last one here and finish it up. Cool, there you go. So to see kind of a more visual, it's a good amount that I removed from the inside. Now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm probably gonna leave it like this, because I want to say that those little grooves that the brush made kind of helps it sit in place. So I might leave it like that. I was thinking about sanding it down, but I might actually leave it like that. We'll see. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and re-sand this again. I know you saw earlier in the video that I actually had painted it, but I'm going to go ahead and re-sand it all down again. Kind of have to now because of this, but it was going to be repainted anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and re-sand this whole thing, and then repaint it, and it should be the end of this. So I'm going to paint it. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to remove these pieces and transfer this, the 2 vents, and then the center hazard light button. So what you're gonna do, this hazard light button has, let me see if I could zoom out. Oh, I can't. So this hazard light button has, so I got some light, that one screw right there, that one screw over here on the right, and then this one on the top, on the bottom left. And the way you remove the vent here is, you see these tabs? You gotta be very careful with these tabs because they're easily breakable. So what you have to do is you have to go ahead and grab like a flathead of some sort. A really thin one will work best. So you have to actually pry this little flap here on the bottom, and then you also have to pry the top ones too. Give me 1 second. Alright, as I was saying, so you have these bottom flat tabs, these 2, and you have these 2 on top. This one and the other one on this side. Now you gotta have to pry these up at the same time, sorta. So let me see if I can do it. So I already have mine off, but if I were to be taking it off, I would pry this one, hold it right there, and then pull it a little bit out. And same for the top. Same for the top. So once you're able to pull it out, just go ahead and snug it out, or take it out, pull it, and then after you do, it's gonna come out. Now for the hazard light, it's just gonna be 3 Phillips head screws. And then this just pops off. So now one thing to know about this particular gauge pod, or gauge, yeah, gauge pod, is that it doesn't have the little vents. These it doesn't have it. Now I'm probably gonna cut a hole out of these, or I'm probably gonna cut a hole into this in the future. Not right now, because it's not a big deal, but I'm gonna be cutting into it in the future. By the way, I painted this already, so it's nicely painted. As you seen earlier, I kind of scratched this up. I don't know if I'll put it in the video or if I did or not, but I scratched it right there. I was too lazy to put, you know, Bondo or something on there, so I just left it like that. But anyways, it's painted. Now what I'm gonna go ahead and do, if you wanted to take these little vents off, these little vent scrollers, all you gotta do is just compress this one and this one, press it in, and it pops off just like that. Now don't lose this little guy right here. Now this is gonna be moving freely inside. So what I did is I just pulled it out a little bit, and I just left it dangling like that. Now you could actually take this whole thing apart, but I'm actually just gonna leave it like that, because it's not a big deal for right now. I'll probably take it out later, but I'm just gonna leave it like this for now, because I just want to put this gauge pod back up and see how install the gauges in the future. So let me go ahead and put these on. Basically, it's gonna be the same process backwards. So this is gonna fit in here. I want to say this is coming off an older gen, so that's probably why it doesn't have the holes for the vents. I might be wrong. If you hear a bird, it's one of my birds, so chirping away. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this little vent in. Alright, so I'm gonna backstep real quick. Now I decided to take these off. So the way I took these off without damaging it seems to work this way. Just get a flathead and then just twist it up to pry it up, and it should pop out just like that. Seems like it has like it's one of those little push ones that just pops in. Now I'm gonna do the same for the other side. I'm probably gonna plug this hole in the other hole, that way there's no like air escaping, but we'll see we'll see if it affects it or not. But let's go ahead and put this back up. So this is gonna go in here like this. Now when I got mine, when it got shipped, it actually came with a broken tab, or the tab broke, I guess, as it was being shipped somehow. Not a big deal. There you go, you heard the clicking, so it's in there. Now I'm gonna do the other side. See, so this side didn't break either, so that's a good method for you to remove these and have an open vent. Now I never really close them, so I don't even know why they do that. Anyways, let's go ahead and put this one back on as well. So yeah, that's it. So there's that. So let's go ahead and install this puppy in the car and see how it looks. As you can see, I scratched this. I'm probably gonna go pick another one up, because that's bothering me. But yeah, let's go ahead and put it back inside. So you go back inside, and don't forget to reconnect the center hazard light connector. Once you do all that, you just line everything up with the little tabs on the sides there, and you just push it in there, and that's it. Hold on, there you go. And that's how it looks. Alright, so quick discussion. Should you buy this gauge pod? Sure, why not? I know in the beginning of the video you saw that the paint was a little rough. Now, it was a little disappointed to see that, just because I paid almost $200 for this gauge pod. I expected the paint job to be a little better. Now, I know it's a little tough to paint over plastic OEM parts. So, that being said, it works for what I purchased it for, and I ended up fixing it at the end. But if you do choose to want to purchase this gauge pod, go ahead, you can check it out. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description on where I purchased it, and then hopefully you guys don't get the same results that I got when I received it in the mail. So, all that being said, I thank you so much for watching the video if you actually watched it to the end. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a like, comment down below if you have any questions, and share this video if you want to share it with your friends. And good luck on your purchase if you do end up getting this great gauge pod. And until next time, you guys have a good one. Peace out.